Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you're as plugged into the NFL as I am, then you know that the offseason is always a time of upheaval, speculation, and major shifts. But right now, the buzz surrounding the Atlanta Falcons isn't just about free agency, draft picks, or new signings. No, what's really catching everyone's attention is how a certain player, Rasul Douglas, is poised to change the defensive narrative of Atlanta and potentially reshape the entire NFC South landscape. And let me tell you, this isn't just hype. This could be the beginning of a new era for the Falcons. Rasul Douglas, for those who may not be fully aware, is a cornerback with a reputation for being a game changer. He's a guy who's made a name for himself with his ball-hawking skills, his ability to read offenses, and his knack for making game-altering plays. Over the past few seasons, Douglas has proven that he's not just a solid defender, but someone capable of flipping the momentum of an entire game. And now, he's heading into Atlanta with the potential to finally turn around a defense that, for too long, has been one of the weaker spots on the team. See, the Falcons have always been known for their explosive offense, for their dynamic quarterbacks, and for their high-octane passing game. But if there's been a consistent struggle, it's been on the defensive side, especially in pass coverage. Over recent seasons, opponents have often found ways to pick apart Atlanta's secondary, exploiting weaknesses and turning games into shootouts. It's been frustrating for fans who crave a more balanced, dominant team that can shut down opponents when it counts most. But that's exactly where Rasul Douglas comes into play. Imagine a defense where a player of his caliber can lock down key receivers, reduce big plays, and create turnovers. For the Falcons, strengthening that secondary isn't just about improving stats. It's about setting a tone, establishing a mentality that this team isn't an easy target anymore. When you have a cornerback who can read routes so well and jump passes like Douglas does, it gives the entire defense a new level of confidence. And confidence is contagious, especially in a league as competitive as the NFL. Now, if we look at his recent performances, Douglas has been nothing short of impressive. His ability to track the ball, combined with his physicality and instincts, has led to multiple game-changing plays. In the last season alone, he racked up several interceptions and pass deflections, proving that he's a threat every time the ball is thrown his way. And with the Falcons now aiming to build a more aggressive, opportunistic defense, his presence could be the catalyst for a turnaround. But it's not just about individual talent. It's about what Rasul Douglas represents for the Falcons' defensive scheme. He brings experience, leadership, and a winning mentality. He's played in high-pressure situations, including playoff games, and understands what it takes to elevate a team's defensive unit when it matters most. His addition could also inspire younger players in the secondary, pushing them to elevate their game and adopt a more aggressive, confident style of play. And let's not forget how this fits into the bigger picture of the Falcons' overall strategy. Atlanta has been investing heavily in their offense, especially on the passing side, with a talented quarterback who's eager to lead the team to the playoffs and beyond. But no championship team is complete without a defense that can hold its own. The acquisition of Rasul Douglas might be the missing piece in their puzzle, an upgrade that could turn a good team into a great one. Looking ahead, the NFC South is shaping up to be even more competitive than in previous years. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with their veteran quarterback and strong defense, will be pushing hard. The New Orleans Saints have been making strategic moves to bolster their roster, and the Carolina Panthers are building around their young, talented quarterback. The Saints, in particular, are looking to bounce back after some inconsistent seasons, and their defense has been a focus of their offseason plans. In this context, the Falcons' move to bring in Rasul Douglas isn't just about improving their secondary, it's about asserting themselves as serious contenders in a division that's full of talent. And if we zoom out a bit, this move also signals a shift in the Falcons' overall philosophy. For years, the team leaned heavily on their offensive firepower. But now, with the addition of a player like Douglas, they are clearly emphasizing defensive stability and versatility. It's a sign that Atlanta wants to be a well-rounded team capable of competing on all fronts, not just outscoring opponents, but also shutting them down when necessary. Now, let's talk a little about the current roster and how Douglas's arrival fits into the team's future plans. The Falcons have a promising roster, especially offensively, with young stars at wide receiver, a solid offensive line, and a quarterback who's shown flashes of greatness. But the defense, particularly the secondary, was an area that needed bolstering. They've already made some moves in free agency, signing players who bring experience and grit, but bringing in Rasul Douglas is a statement move. It shows that the Falcons are serious about turning their defensive unit into a strength. And speaking of their defense, last season was a mixed bag. There were moments of brilliance, like key turnovers and sacks, but overall, the secondary often struggled with consistency. Opposing quarterbacks found soft spots in coverage, and that's something the Falcons are eager to correct. Rasul Douglas, with his ball skills and knack for creating turnovers, could be the spark that ignites a more aggressive, disciplined, and opportunistic defense. Moreover, his leadership qualities can't be understated. In a league where mental toughness and experience are crucial, having a veteran like Douglas in the locker room can influence younger players and set the tone for a winning culture. It's about establishing a mindset that no matter who the opponent is, the Falcons are going to fight for every inch on the field, especially in pass coverage. Now, let's pause here for a second. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Because, folks, the NFL is always about the next step, the next move, the next big play. And Rasul Douglas might just be the player who makes that next step possible for the Falcons. Looking further into the season, the Falcons are expected to be a team to watch. The offensive talent is undeniable, but the question lingered, could their defense catch up? Well, with Douglas now on board, there's a renewed sense of optimism. The coaching staff has been emphasizing the importance of a balanced team, and adding a player like Rasul to the secondary is a clear message that Atlanta is serious about competing at the highest level. The NFC South is also undergoing some major changes, with teams trying to outdo each other in the quest for supremacy. The Buccaneers still have their veteran quarterback. Tom Brady's departure has opened a door for new contenders, and the Saints are actively rebuilding. The Panthers, with their young QB, are also looking to make a leap. In this kind of environment, every addition counts, and Rasul Douglas could be the game changer that propels Atlanta into the top tier of the division. And of course, for the Falcons fans, this isn't just about one player. It's about hope, the anticipation of a more complete team, and the excitement of seeing your team finally reach that next level. The defense has been a concern for a while, but now, with Douglas's arrival, there's a tangible sense that things are about to change. His experience and skill set could help turn the Falcons into a team that's not just competitive but feared. In the context of recent seasons, it's worth noting that Atlanta has been building steadily. The draft picks, the strategic free agent signings, and now the addition of Rasul Douglas all point to a clear plan. They want to create a team that can contend for the playoffs and ultimately a Super Bowl. The fans have been patient and their hopes are high. They want to see a defense that can hold its own against the high-powered offenses of the league, and Douglas might just be the piece that brings it all together. And let's not forget how important leadership in the secondary is. When you have a guy who's been through playoff battles, who understands the mental toughness required to succeed, it elevates the entire unit. Rasul Douglas's presence could also influence the younger corners, teaching them how to handle pressure, read the game better, and make those critical plays when it matters most. For a team that's still developing its identity, having that veteran leadership is invaluable. So, what do you think? Are the Falcons about to take a big step forward with Rasul Douglas's arrival? Could this be the move that finally helps them crack the code of consistent defensive excellence? The NFC South is heating up, and Atlanta seems to be positioning itself as a serious contender. It's an exciting time for Falcons fans, and honestly, it's hard not to feel optimistic about what's coming next. This offseason has been full of strategic moves, and the addition of Rasul Douglas is one of the most significant. It signals a new chapter, one where the Falcons are aiming higher, playing smarter, and fighting harder. The defensive unit, once seen as a weak spot, could soon become a real strength, especially if Douglas continues to deliver on his promise. The fans are eager, the players are motivated, and the division rivals are probably already feeling the heat. So, as we look forward to the upcoming season, keep your eyes on Atlanta. This could be the year that everything finally clicks: offense, defense, special teams, all coming together to make a run at the Super Bowl. And Rasul Douglas might just be the X factor that makes it all happen. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this move? Do you believe Rasul Douglas has what it takes to turn around the Falcons' secondary? Are you excited about the team's prospects this season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Atlanta Falcons. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. Thanks for being part of this journey, and as always, let's keep that Falcons spirit alive.